Hi, my name is Kate Nation, and today I'm going to talk about food from my country, which is the Commonwealth of Dominica. We're going to talk about things we eat, such as things for breakfast, what do we eat for lunch, and also supper. To start off, we're going to talk about breakfast. For breakfast, it's very common for us to have a cup of tea, or what some people would call hot chocolate, but we basically call it tea back home. It could either be processed, like Milo or Ovaltine, this sort of brands, or it also could be natural. To accompany that, we normally do some sort of things such as corned beef, tuna, saltfish, smoked herring, that's a type of fish, and also fried ripe plantains. We prepare it aside with we fry it with onions, some sort of seasoning, that sort of thing. And also very common, we also have bread. So we have tea, some sort of thing like tuna, and bread. And to eat, sometimes we would actually stuff the bread, so we would slice open the bread and stuff it with these things like tuna or saltfish. Saltfish is basically this dried, salted fish. Right now we're going to move on to lunch. For lunch, there's something that's really common in Dominica. It's a type of stewed chicken. It's basically made with sugar and oil. That's how we start the process to stew the chicken, and it comes out really nice in the end. Rice is also very common, but we don't normally cook just pure or plain rice. It's normally cooked with something else, rice with lentils, rice with red beans, with some sort of coloring or some sort of flavor. But we don't just cook plain white rice. We also have some stuff which is popular in America, some stuff like mac and cheese. We have baked mac and cheese, or it's boiled also. Something very common in Dominica, we call provisions. These are things like green bananas. There's something called dashing. It's something which is grown in the ground, and this is very common. We have also some variations to dashing, like tanya, kush, these things. And it's very nice, very common. Basically, in every plate, every day, we have one example of these provisions. We also have salad. It's common, but salad, we normally have salt in salad, and a little bit of oil and a little bit of onions, that sort of thing. We also have a lot of soups, broth, but as in some countries, we don't soup or broth. When we cook soup or broth, it's only soup. We don't cook soup to accompany or with another plate of food. So if we're having soup for lunch, we only have soup for lunch. For supper, it's kind of the same as for breakfast, but it's a little bit lighter. But we cook the same things for supper. Now, I'm going to talk a little about the restaurants in Dominica, because they're kind of different from other countries. So, like, restaurants basically function to feed workers, the workforce. Probably about 40% of the population, I would say, actually go to work without lunch. The other 60% bring their lunch to work. So the restaurants are open to cater for these people who do not bring lunch to work, or sometimes do not eat breakfast at their homes. So the people would go to the restaurants, buy a little something for breakfast, or a little snack in the mid-mornings around 10, 11 o'clock. For lunch, they would go buy their lunch at these restaurants, but at about 6, 7 o'clock, the restaurants close. So we don't have that type of culture where we go out to eat at night, go out to have dinner in a restaurant. That basically doesn't exist in my country. So the restaurants at 7 o'clock, most of the restaurants are already closed. We don't have that sort of nightlife. It's kind of boring, but that's how we do things. We do things back home. And we have come to the end of my presentation about food in Dominica. Once again, my name is Keith Nation. See you next time. Bye.